What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sober Black Girls Club podcast. I am J. Nicole with our co-host Katie. We are back for another episode. Looking forward to the conversation. I think it's going to be interesting. We can kind of flow with it. But Katie, how you doing today? What's up?
I'm
laughing.
good. Huh?
She's laughing, so she's good. She's good.
No, I am good. I was gonna say it's the second day of Ramadan, so I'm gonna be talking very slowly so I can preserve my energy. Because I was just telling J. Nicole that by 4 o'clock I am done and just looking at the sky, waiting for the sun to come down. But I was gonna say that this is my second Ramadan back from, so I grew up fasting all the time. I started fasting, I remember in 4th grade, and I went to a private school, but they were very accepting. That one school that I'm thinking of, they were very accepting in terms of me fasting. So they would put me in a separate room, and they would just, when it was lunchtime, not overall, but when it was lunchtime, they would put me in a separate room. And everything went well. I've been doing it for a long time, but when I hit my addiction in 2017, which was a straight indicator that I was down bad. I could not fast. First of all, when I was in college and fasting during Ramadan, I made an agreement. It wasn't even a actual spoken agreement. It was more of an internal agreement. During Ramadan, you don't drink, you don't have sex, you don't curse, you don't do all these things that normally you would be doing. I'm sorry, that's just funny saying that out loud. But it came a time where I believe 2017, 2018, where I was drinking during Ramadan. I would fast during the day, and then as soon as the sunset came, drink, and then be hungover the next day, be so miserable, down bad. And then the following Ramadan, I couldn't even fast at all. I was drinking during the day, eating during the day. It was a mess. But last Ramadan, that happened last year, I believe in May or June, I was able to fast the whole 30 days without any problem, not drink. So this is my second Ramadan back. And it's actually kind of special. I know I'm rambling, but oh well. It's actually kind of special because it's I actually really do like Ramadan. It's 1 month out of the year for me where I'm intentionally, it's a restart. I'm being very intentional with my day. It's you are talking to me on the subway. Do I side eye you to tell you to shut the F up and stop talking? I'm trying to get to work. It's too early in the morning. Or do I engage in conversation just because it's the nice thing to do? So during Ramadan, I'm very intentional about how I'm treating other people. And let's be real, I don't feel bad. In the morning time, stop talking to people on the morning commute, especially in New York City. No one wants to talk. We're just trying to get to work. Oh my God. But anyways, so I really do enjoy Ramadan because it's just 30 days of being intentional every step of the way. And it just feels good. It feels like a reset. All right, that's that. What are you talking about, J. Nicole?
No, that's dope. Listen, I commend it. I just told you I haven't fasted in a couple of years, pretty much, not for more than a few days. I definitely haven't done that. So I think it's amazing. I pray that it's an amazing Ramadan season for you and all the blessings and everything. I definitely would be that person in the morning talking to you on a train that you would want to tell to shut the F up, because I am like that. When I wake up, I'm on 100. I can just go right to whatever I have to do. I'll talk. It's just, yeah, I just don't know how to not.
My mouth is open. Why?
Yeah, it's just, I can't help it. I don't look at it I don't look at it oh, it's the morning, I'm not going to talk now. No, it's whatever I've been thinking about, or I'm just going to start going in on it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's a good point. I get that, but it's do you drink coffee?
No.
Wow.
I did drink coffee, but I will. That's a good. Actually, you know what? I did drink coffee. I love coffee. It tastes phenomenal. It's a great thing, right? But when I was trying to cut back on it and I was stopping, the coffee withdrawal was so bad that I was like, bro, I never want to get hooked back on that like that. I was drinking a couple coffees a day at the time. That migraines, I couldn't even pick my head up. It was hurting so bad. I was like, yo, I never want to have to bring myself back off this. So once in a while I have a cup of coffee, but I can't do it like that anymore. No.
But also, before we like go into conversation, I do want to say that J. Nicole is a triple sag, so they're like normally optimistic and happy a lot. Like, but that's a you problem. So I really don't feel bad because majority of people do not have that much like optimism in them. We're like, no, we just don't have that. Like, and we need coffee, all right, to function most of us in the morning. So I can understand that. And I just want to say also, I don't even know why I'm explaining myself, but it's not all the time. It's just most of the time just don't talk, especially when we're in a pandemic and we still have to wear a mask. So now I have to like be like, what did you say? Because I already have, I'm kind of like hard of hearing a little bit. So now I have to be like, what did you say? And now like, it's just too much. Like, just be quiet. And if the stars align, we will meet another time on the train and we will have a great conversation when the pandemic is done and we're all safe. And it won't be the morning time. It'll be like 4 p.m. me coming from BBQs and then we can have a conversation. But until then, I do not feel bad. Do not talk to me on the train at
No,
any
the mask is
point.
not stopping me. I will come home and I'll tell Tanya, I'll be like, my mouth is hurting because of just like the irritation of just talking so much with a mask on still. So it's like
I'm sorry.
you
This is
could
so
just
funny.
not talk, but that's just never option. I actually don't even set alarm clocks. Like if I know I have to be somewhere at, let's say I gotta leave out at 7 a.m. or something, like naturally I'll just wake up at the time that I need in order to get ready, get a shower, get dressed, get out the door. Like I'm not late. Like I just morning is my thing. But I go to bed early, so I don't really stay up that late. Yeah, embarrassing. Like I'll tell you, like it was probably two times last week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was definitely in bed. One night, last Saturday, I actually fell asleep at like 7:15 and woke up. It was like 11. I'm like, dang, I thought it was like the next day. It still was only 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, I'm definitely morning person, not really a night owl.
I'm a morning person too, though. I am. But I have a question. I'm recently just started getting into sleep and appreciating the beauty of sleep, appreciating, and this is like not what we're talking about today, but I don't care. Just real quick, what is your like? What is that one thing you need to go to sleep? I just found a new something that I want to tell you about that's just been so immaculate, heaven sent, so beautiful to like my nighttime routine. And I'm like, I can understand why people like sleeping. Do you enjoy sleeping? One, and what's that one thing that like you need to have like while you're sleeping?
I thoroughly enjoy sleeping. I think about sleeping all the time. I'm like, man, I'm actually today I'm thinking about the nap I'm going to take tomorrow. Like, and I don't really nap too much, but I'll be feeling like I want to sleep. I enjoy it. To go to bed, I like, I would think if I had like a cooling pillow, like I like it to be like cold, so like, or like cool or something. And I kind of like sleep where I'm like sleeping like kind of like with the pillow. It's weird. I kind of just like have to be like that. It's a strange thing, I guess. But yeah, so. But no
All
music or
right,
nothing like that. It used to be a TV, but it's not anymore.
no more. So I used to hate sleeping because it used to give me like really bad FOMO. Like I felt like I was missing out on something, but that was just again my need to always be doing something. And I think also like years of drinking just really effed up my sleeping habit and my sleeping schedule. So it was just like all around bad. But this year, first of all, don't underestimate the um the importance of a good bed. I'm so sorry. People always like I bought my first mattress out of like law school, which I don't have anymore. Rest in peace. And that stuff was $5,000, but I did not care. I'm like, you like a good bed is like come on, like you need a good bed, like a good bed, something that you feel like you're sleeping on clouds. Everyone needs that. And it's just, I don't care. Like, I do not care. Yes, I do not have the mattress anymore. Yes, I'm still paying for it, but I don't care. It was well worth it when I had it. Secondly, this year, someone introduced me to like heating pads. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I have like, okay, a heating pad, a heating blanket. I like my surroundings to be cold or not hot, but in bed just to have something so warm like on you, it's just like, and it feels like the heat, it's just so, it just has taken my sleeping experience to another level. It's just so like it's just an experience. I don't know how to describe it. Also, before bed I used to drink like teas, like sleepy time tea, chamomile tea, or whatever this tea. Girl, You need to go to a herb store and get the actual loose leaf tea. And they have all these different teas for different things. Like I still drink coffee. I'm never gonna say I'm not drinking coffee, but I have been supplementing. Like sometimes if I don't drink coffee, I will take like something from the herb store that I got. But anyways, in regards to my nighttime ritual, I got like chamomile that's like loose. And mugwort, which is basically helps you dream. And I probably should not say this because it's Ramadan, but lately my dreams have been dreaming like the dreams have been dreaming, the people in them have been on point. um what we're doing has been magical in my dreams. My dreams have been the best dreams I have had. It's called mugwort. Basically, go to a herb store. So, but you're if they're not coming in like a tea bag, you have to. I use a cold press. So, like you put the herbs in the cold press, and then you put like the hot water, and then you press it, and you let steam dry. And it's just so better. I'm never going back to like regular tea bag from like ShopRite, Whole Foods tea again. But lately, I'm not gonna lie, I've been really enjoying sleep. Like it's just the
It's
best
really it's
thing.
really the dreams, ladies and gentlemen, or ladies. It's really the dreams. If you were picking up what she's throwing down, it's really the dreams. So she's like, "You got any more of that tea that you know?" The I feel you know I love tea actually.
It's
I
both.
really enjoy exactly. I really enjoy tea though, and I think that's dope. So we're opposites. So I prefer to be cold, a little more chilly, but like a super hot shower. I'm big on that. And another tip too, if I feel like I need to just bring myself down, taking like a dark showers, like a shower with like the lights out. Someone told
Mm.
me that before. I was like really stressed, and they're like, even if you do it during the daytime, like if you just don't put the bathroom light on and just kind of like keep it like that, that helps like bring everything down for me as well. So hopefully that's some tips that's helping y'all out there with y'all sleep schedule. And if you're trying to get down with what Katie's doing, then ask her at some other time where she got that tea from to turn your dreams up a little bit.
It's herbs. It's the herbs. But no, wait, real quick. No, you're right. I first of all, I do everything in the dark because I'm a candle girl. I'm like a very fire oriented person, and not like I'm gonna start a fire. But I love candles. I love like heat stuff. But like I totally agree with like taking showers in the dark or waking up. Even like my light bulbs will be off for like a whole. When they go out, they go out. I never replace them until someone comes in and replaces. Like I don't need them, especially when I have like candles all around. But that's a good point. Like I never thought about that it was a thing, dog showers. But no, that is so good. And honestly, people need to know this because a lot of people, especially like people who are in recovery, they struggle with their sleep. Because honestly, this episode is not about sleeping. Right. We're gonna move on. This episode is not about sleeping, but people do struggle with their sleep because alcohol messes up like our sleeping habits. Anyways, moving on. Okay, what we're talking about? We're talking about all right. So basically, we're talking about I guess like Jay, what are we talking about?
So like we're talking, oh, how everything was for us in the pandemic, some goals we might have, stuff like that. What we learned through the pandemic, since it's been about 2 years now that it started. I mean, it's kind of still there, but yeah, just kind of digging into that a little bit from each person's perspective.
So basically a recap. We're doing a recap of like what it was like in the beginning of the pandemic, the quarantine for us. What is it like now? What are some lessons we've learned? And I think Jay just said we are like going over some spring goals, right? Some spring goals going into because we're in spring now. So we should have some spring goals going into the summertime. All right, girl, you take it away.
All right, so the pandemic for me, it was crazy in the beginning. The anxiety, like the fear, like just the unknown was unbelievable. It was just overwhelming. I remember being in the middle of the supermarket, almost having an all-out panic attack, just like looking at like all the food not there, like what is going on. Like it was just crazy in the beginning with all of that like media craze. It was like, what is
Mm-hmm.
happening? Like low key, I was like, bro, is this the end of the world? Like I really was like I just never pictured that when the end of the world was happening, that we would actually be watching it happen. I always picture it's going to be like a complete wipeout, like it's just not going to be like that. So it was low key kind of scary. One of the biggest challenges for me was eating. So because of that, that's why I talked about the supermarket. We got like all of this frozen food because we're like, yo, we need this food to last. I don't want to keep coming here, making all of these trips. We're going at 6 a.m. as soon as the store was opening so that I wasn't around a bunch of people. Like it was crazy. It started being so strategized. But we got a whole bunch of processed food, whole bunch of frozen stuff just so that it could last, like frozen pizza, all that stuff that I don't normally really eat too much. And because of that, I ended up gaining a lot of weight like crazy. So that was like around,
Mhm.
say, like March. That October, listen, it was my mom's birthday. We did a drive-by birthday thing for her. I looked at it.
Aw.
I looked at the picture. Bro, I almost started crying. I'm like, yo, is that really
No, you're
me?
exaggerating.
No, I'm serious. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna show you the picture. No, like I'm gonna show you the picture. I am telling you, like I couldn't believe it. It was the heaviest I ever been in my life, and it took a lot. It took a lot to get out of that hole. It took a while, and then we was able to get there, get back to some progress, and now it's a roller coaster. But yeah, that was probably the biggest thing, was the anxiety, fear of the unknown, and then the whole eating thing, because it became like a joy. Like, let's what takeout are we going to order? What are we going to do? Like, that's all we're doing. We're home, so it was like,
Mm.
you know yeah. I did start chefing it up a little bit too, though, but that was like, as it was kind of like turning the corner. Yeah. So how
Yeah,
about you?
I think for me in the beginning it was okay. This is very hot. This is happening, so it's like it's happening. But for me, I did have a slip early on in the beginning of the pandemic. I don't remember because I was on a schedule, right? So I was on schedule. I was going to like an AA meeting in the morning. I was going to my outpatient right after. I was spending the rest of the day in the library. I wasn't working at that time, so I was doing just a lot, just trying to get in a routine, get my like sobriety under, like under wraps. And I had a slip. Like I don't know what it really was. I believe it was a number of things. So in the beginning of the pandemic, things were just going by slow. Like we had all the streaming apps. I believe I did have SBGC, but I was like home alone, like by myself, like, and I wasn't around anyone because I wasn't in New York City. I was somewhere else, the city I went to get sober. I didn't get sober in New York City. I was in another city to get sober. So when this happened, I was like in a small studio, and I live in a studio now, but the studio I lived in the other city was like half of this studio. Like it was just so small. It was such a box. And I was trying to adjust as much as I could. And I remember basically my dumb ass. I'm like, what do Katie sound like when she doesn't curse? Anyways, my not so smart self. I remember like I answered a DM, and it was like the worst thing I could have ever done. Basically, I answered a DM from this person who was very unstable, very just destructive in more ways than I can even explain. And because at that time I had this mentality that I had to like fix everyone, I took like on this person's problems as my own. Um, and aside from that, just the way they were treating me, and I kind of just like was like ready to, aside from being isolated from the world, and then finally like having someone that's not really attributed to SBGC or attributed to like outpatient or any of that stuff, just another person. It kind of like gave me a little bit back some joy, and then to have that person just like abruptly like just stop talking to me, it kind of sent me like on a little spiral. And I had like a slip, and I remember like the slip was so scary that I went to like the doctor. I went to like detox or whatever. And even though I know people be like, that was like what I did was like exaggerated, I was just so scared to get back on like that cycle of drinking again and then stopping and drinking again. So I just wanted it to I just wanted to do something proactive after my slip, because again I was in the city by myself, so I didn't have anyone to like really hold me accountable but myself. And I thought that that was like the best thing I could do at that time. But anyway, so during the first year of the pandemic, it took me like a while to get through that. Like first of all, being in the pandemic, being isolated, having a slip during my like sober time, like having a slip. And even though time don't really matter to me, but just that happening to me because of someone else's actions and because of my lack of like, I mean, I really can't really blame myself, because who would have thought that we would be in a quarantine, a pandemic, isolated? It was just a new territory for me. Um, and then like having to go to like a detox. Wait, I'm like going everywhere, but I promise you I'm getting somewhere. But the lessons that I've learned like within that first year is that, like, one, I want to be in a better place emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, that when something happens, like when something is taken away, for example, I can't go to outpatient, I can't go to AA, I can't go to the library, I'm still okay. Like, I'll still be okay. And it's normal to feel and to accept, like, oh, I'm alone, I'm isolated, but I will still like be able to make good decisions and not lash onto someone who I know is destructive just because they're this form of like of community that's different from the other community that's really associated with like recovery, if that makes sense. So for me, that was like a lesson. Like, I had to really put more work and effort to my mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Also, it showed me that like people, we can admit that like people are already effed up in this world. People do f up things, but even in the face of like of sadness, of deep sadness, even in a space where folks know that like people are struggling, some people don't give a F. Like, you know what I mean? That does not deter people from acting better, from doing better. And not only when I'm thinking about this girl, this person, I'm thinking about like the friends I had to drop, just like their lack of sympathy or empathy, their lack of like, every day today world, we're cracking jokes, we're doing this, but like we have to take into consideration that people are suffering. Like, your friends are suffering. Your strong friends are suffering. I am suffering. I don't want to be around you in a way where you're unable to see that, and all you're still doing is cracking jokes. You're still talking about things that don't matter. Like, no one is thinking about like the bigger picture. No one, like, and it really drove me crazy. And I say that to say that it's not like I realized that I couldn't judge them because this is how they were handling things, but I needed to do better in like finding my community and finding people that I wanted to like be around and wanted to align with. I just felt like I was around people, regardless of talking about the girl I'm thinking about, my former friends, who like really just acted like we were in a pandemic, or acted like everything was so okay, and like things were not we were not in a scary time, you know what I mean? And it was, and not only from them, when I think about my family, like, the lack of people who even asked me about how my sobriety was, recovery was, like, no one, everyone just acted pretty normal. And I, maybe because a lot of them were still working, so it felt normal. But in my, for me, I want, it just basically, one of the lessons that I, had to pick up was that I want to be around people who are actually like in tune with what's going on in the universe, like what's going on in their community. What, like, even if you can't see something, just to know that this is a scary time to take into consideration. And I think it just comes down to having empathy. And I just feel like a lot of people lack empathy. And so, yeah, those are just some of the few lessons. I can go on and on. Let me just stop and give you and let you talk, Jay. Those are just some of
No,
the few
no, listen,
lessons.
like I love listening to you talk and you have a lot of good points. I mean, one of the things that you said, like, I don't know, like 20 minutes ago, no, I'm kidding. One of the things one of the things that you said that I didn't want to lose sight of was that ability to stay consistent or be able to thrive when the landscape changes. Because I think,
Mm-hmm.
like, especially when you're trying to be sober or find recovery or whatever it is, get out of a relationship, stuff like that. When you know that this is my pattern, this is how things go, okay, cool. When everything's going like this, I feel good. Then when something comes abruptly and changes, how can I still keep my footing is so important and crucial when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to that, because most people aren't good with change in general, but that kind of massive change, like the world as we knew it was unbelievable. Like sometimes when I think back to it, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that we actually went through this and dealt with that. And I think that isolation and people being by themselves also could bring up a lot. But one thing I always say to myself, and I hope that if anybody else was in a similar situation where maybe they had a slip or something changed, is to keep yourself in context and
Mm-hmm.
give yourself that grace. Like, okay, when did this slip happen? What else was going on around me that contributed to that? It's not an excuse, but it is a reality that when
Mm-hmm.
things change, some things become harder to maintain. That's a fact. So it's not like, oh, every time something changes, I can't just say it's okay for me to slip up and have these relapses. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that it's okay in terms of like telling you like, yeah, just keep doing it. But it's a reality. Like, it's hard to maintain normally. So then when your world is rocked and your patterns change, like, that's absolutely difficult to keep going. But if you keep going from there, you try to put it back together, then that's important. I think one of the other things that I really learned and was helpful during the pandemic was relationships that you can build online. So that was
Mm-hmm.
because we spent so much more time in that world, and just like for me anyway, I speak for myself, spending more time online and just realizing that there are different people out here and just forming different friendships and things like that with people. That was huge because before that, yeah, I met people, but like it became like more, I guess, invested in other people's
Yeah.
wellness as well, because it felt like, well, I want to do my part. So whatever part I can do, if that's an Instagram post or having a conversation in a DM or whatever, then I want to do that. It became more like that, purposeful. I think that's probably the word that I'm trying to say during that time, to basically like be online and be active and forming relationships with different people that I'm still cool with now. So it wasn't just the pandemic height, the pandemic height, and then it's like, that's an old thing. That's an old friendship. I don't care no more. I'm back outside.
Back out. First of all, we still in quarantine. We still wait, hold on. People may not be quarantining, but we are still in a pandemic.
Yes.
So y'all need to first of all, again, keep 6 feet away and wear your mask and stay vaccinated. But also, I wanted to say something, Jay. You know what? I'm a firm believer that the universe will continue sending you the same, um, maybe the same predicament or the same situation in different scenarios until you really learn your lesson.
I agree.
Because like you said, I totally agree that like for a while I did feel ashamed about how I let like a I don't want to call it breakup, we weren't even together, but how I let another person like deter my sobriety, because it reminded me of in 2017 when I talked about the relationship last year, about how like that also kind of like put me in a spiral when I was drinking more. However, I thought that I learned the lesson of like, sorry. I thought I learned the lesson of like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, what was the lesson out of that? The lesson is that like, what I'm looking for in other people is in me. Like I have the juice, I am the main character. And sorry, and I can't even drink water right now. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. And that I just needed to really like improve my relationship with myself. And I needed to really establish boundaries with myself and other people and get to know myself and love myself and self-worth and all those things. And I felt like I was doing that. But then again, when like you said, like this is a whole different scenario. This is like a whole pandemic. And um there's really nowhere I can go. There's nothing I can really do but besides like sit in this like box. And I feel like the universe presented me with another scenario of like having somebody in your life, someone that I was talking to, dating, and oh my gosh, I need some water so bad. But you know what? Let's just continue.
All right.
Sending me someone, sending me someone in my life, and having them suddenly like taken away. I feel like it was the same thing, mirrored the same thing that I went through in 2017, but it was kind of different in a way. It was different, not in a way. It was different. And it just taught me or instructed me or it made me realize that I had to really go back into my spiritual mental health bag. Cause I kind of like when things feel good for a while, you kind of deter. So like you're not doing every little thing that you're supposed to be doing, but it's okay because you feel good. You are mentally healthy. You are, you know what I mean? And then something big comes and just kind of, it doesn't really wipe away all the progress, but it just teaches you and shows you that one, you need to be more consistent, you need to be more disciplined, and these are the areas where you might have thought that you overcame, but you probably still need more help solving or getting better at.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I think that's how I kind of treat therapy. Like when I'm in like this state where I feel like, oh, I need to have a therapy appointment, to have therapy appointments. Like I haven't had an appointment in a while, but I did it where like if I'm going through these more difficult times, like I'll reach out, get those appointments in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I had to be mindful of that kind of like early on, that, like you said, you start feeling good. Like, oh, I'm good. I don't need this. I'm fine. Everything's cool. And then like something comes like, oh my God, I'm like falling apart. I need help, and stuff like that. So I think you when you start to heal, and you start to find your healing bag or like your resources, like you start to feel more comfortable in where you're at, and I think confident and trusting myself with my emotions and
Yeah.
knowing like, all right, if you're going to say I'm not going to have all these appointments because I feel good, then when you don't feel good, you have to honor yourself and reach out for help, and not feel like ashamed. Like sometimes you could feel like I'm too far along to be letting something like this bother me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like,
Right.
no, because it also depends on where you're at when that happens. So even though you might feel better in that area, you could be going through something else totally different than that, but you're already a little bit more emotionally weak, a little bit
Mhm.
emotionally deficient. So then now here comes this person in your DM with all this and that, talking this game. Maybe it's looking a little different. Then it's like, nah, nope, it's not. Now you're hurt again. Now this is happening. But you might have already been a little bit more emotionally like deficient at that time. So it wasn't like you were at your best self and then this person came in and then this test showed up again. And you could be like, nope, I already know that you're a red flag. I already know what this is going to be. So I'm going to X that.
Right.
But we're not always operating in that mindset when these little things come along. So, we got to cut ourselves some slack.
Yes, and I don't care. Fuck her. I said what I said. It is Ramadan, but I don't care. Like fuck. I don't know. Wait, I'm not even going this rant. But if you know you're not in a good space, stop fucking using other people. Oh my gosh, it's Ramadan. I'm still cursing. I'm so sorry, but stop using other people's light, other people's like being to like compensate you when you know you're just not even in the space or ready to even be in tune with that or be in connection with that. Like F that. Especially, and again, I just feel like people lack empathy. Like we're already going through hard times. Why do you want to come into my life? And doesn't it always, okay, we're not about to make this another relationship episode, but
Let it be what it'll be. It's cool. Let it go. Let's go.
doesn't it always happen like that? Like you could be minding your business and chilling. And I know it has a lot to do with discernment. I get it. Um, you can be minding your business, chilling, and then it'll be like someone always like wants your life and then be disruptive. It's like they're not even. And for me personally, I don't really do a lot of like spitting game to myself, and I'll say why. I just don't like. I don't really. This is
Wait,
like a
what does that mean? Spitting game to yourself?
no, I don't really what's the word? Like reach out to people. What's the word? I don't really there's a saying for it. Shoot my shot with people. I
Okay.
don't.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll tell people why. I'll tell you why. I just feel like I have like a certain characteristic, a certain personality. I feel like there's it's twofold for this, right? And let me know what you think. In my opinion, I feel like I can reach out to someone and they would automatically say yes. They would automatically want to go on a date, want to talk, and then but we have nothing in common. Like I'm choosing. People don't use discernment. What's the okay? No, let's backtrack. I can pick whoever, right? And who am I picking? I'm picking people who I don't really know. Like I'm, especially on the online era, I can send you a DM just because you look good on social media, and then you say yes, and then we're talking, and then I realized that like, okay, you're not my cup of tea. We're not moving anywhere. And then this would happen for so long where I would feel like I liked someone, but then I would realize that I don't really like this person in that type of way. So I kind of like over like the last year, I said like, you know what, I'm gonna stop like shooting my shot at people. And granted, you're right. I can only meet people through the online. So of course, like I'm shooting shots through DMs, and they're all like not that they were all like disasters or something bad happened, but I'm like, I felt like I was wasting my time. Like, this is not the kind of person that I kind of want to be in this like relationship with, and a romantic relationship with, a situationship with, blah, blah, blah. It just wasn't working out. So I told myself, I'm going to let people like I'm going to be more open to when people reach out to me. At first, I just thought because I had a dominant personality, I didn't like when people reached out to me. I wouldn't answer my DMs. Like, I felt like I wanted to do the choosing. But then I decided, like, you know what? No, I'm actually going to let people reach out to me because I'm very transparent. People know my personality. People know the things that are important to me. People know the things that I like. So if they see what I like and what I'm doing, then they automatically have to like it too. They have to have some type of connection that's like more than like my physical appearance with what I'm doing. But I'll be very honest, that is backfiring on me also. Um, and and like I don't know. Like, so at this point, I don't even know. I thought that was the technique I needed to go work with, but that's not working. But I'm not gonna make this another episode. But yeah, if y'all just not ready for certain people, just sit your dusty asses down and leave people alone. Let people live their lives and stop trying to cause more trauma on people, because that's all it does. I think we think that like breakups and like friendship breakups, any type of breakups are just like it's life, but it's also like causing more trauma, something else that I have to get over. And I don't get over a lot of things fast, even though it may look like it. Like I'm a very emotional, sensitive person. I am a Cancer sun. I don't know how more emotional I can be or sensitive, but it is in my 12th house, which I know people don't know what that means. But basically, it's really hidden. People don't see that side of me, which is fine. Mind your business. But stop coming into my life and adding more trauma, something else I have to get over. It's just too much. That's the last I'm going to say about this. I'm getting back to the conversation. We can go back to the normal conversation that we were having.
No, I think it's good, like, to talk about all those different things. I mean, well, I think you should keep shooting your shot.
No.
I think you should, because I mean, if that's the case, then you're gonna be all right. Let's back that up. So sometimes you're saying people should like be more accountable. Like, all right, if I know I'm not in a good space and I'm not really going to be doing whatever, then I shouldn't.
Don't reach out to me.
But sometimes people can't. They can't see that. They don't know that about themselves. Or
True.
maybe they are, like you said, there are people who are just selfish. So it's like, okay, well, I feel like you could fulfill this part of me or whatever, and that's just kind of what it is. Also, people don't they don't read the room, right? So they may think differently of you. Like you just said, some parts of you are hidden. So maybe if they're just looking at how you are on social media and how your personality comes off, like, I wouldn't necessarily say sensitive. I wouldn't necessarily say that. But because I have conversations with you and I speak to you, I do know that there's a part of you that is sensitive. So people just might be like, oh, she's like assertive. She's like this. She can handle, like, they're not thinking like, oh, I'm going to go into this person's life and cause chaos. It just happens like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes. And I do think that if more of us were more accountable and aware of where we were in our lives, it would be less heartbreak. But that doesn't make for as good stories. So I think it's gonna always be the chaotic patterns, the trauma bonding, and all of that other stuff that we are attracted to. I feel like when I was younger, I think I almost like thrived off the drama. Like I would like tell that I cheated, like just stupid stuff that was like, wow, like, did you want this argument to happen? Like, did you want all of this to be crazy like this? So I feel like if you're in like that toxic season or vibe, like, you just do it. It's not like I set out to say, I'm going to ruin this person's life this year. It's like that one right there. Here I come. Okay. And the text message is sent. Now your life's going to be ruined in about 30 days, 30 to 90 days. And then it's over. But that happens. You think you have the best intention, and then you're like, wow, I'm really not. Yeah, I'm not a good fit for this person. Like, nah, I'm not going to see that. I'm going to just keep pursuing it. And even on the flip side, continuing relationships that I knew were not healthy for me either. It was like, you're actually probably a really bad person, but it's Saturday. I don't have nothing else going on, so what you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
really bad.
We can't always be like morally at the top of our game. So, but I do
Right.
think that unfortunately, when you are in sobriety, you are trying to do the right things and make those choices. It is a little more dangerous when you're playing that game or allowing people to play that game with you, because you are also putting your sobriety potentially at jeopardy as well. But I guess I don't know if I'm talking out both sides of my mouth, but then it's like, if we don't try, how do we know if we can sustain or not? Or how do we know if we can still stay sober with toxic relationships or drama filled
Yeah.
people? Like, how do we do it? You can't just be like, well, I'm gonna just scrutinize everybody and I'm gonna wait for the person that seems almost perfect or safe enough, and then I'll try. Like, I
Ooh,
don't
safe
know.
enough.
How do we?
Yes.
I don't know. So I think that's a tough thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was like basically my experience in the beginning of the pandemic. That experience made it really hard. It just brought a lot of sadness to my life. However, during the second year of the pandemic, I started seeing a coach, a life coach, not even a therapist. Started working on myself more. praying more, meditating, reading more. That's when I found Bell Hooks books, and I was like so obsessed with her teachings. Audre Lorde, just doing a lot of more reading. And then I basically dedicated the last year of the pandemic to really just, being infatuated with myself, because the truth is, I am, if you know me, if you listen to me, I'm very infatuated with myself. And I think it's so important because, like, I just feel like we've literally been moving through the world, living through the world, finding like reasons not to like ourselves. And once, like, the last year of the pandemic, when I really started to really get deep into myself, and that looked sobriety, I'm gonna be very honest with you, it's been up and down times, but the last year has been somewhat really fun, even in terms of like, I should not be having these. Okay, we're gonna cancel for the next 4 weeks. Like, I'm joking. I'm like, I should not be want to talk about this during Ramadan, but I'm sorry. I just have to kind of. So, like, the last year, I've been just really doing a lot of like different things. Like, again, getting really into like candles, and like really like realizing how much I love candles and love like fire rituals, I guess you can say, like candles, incense, things of that. Like, a little bit TMI, but like masturbating like I've never done before. And it's so important. And let me tell you why it's so important. Because I'm not saying I used to be against it, but I used to be one of those type of girls, be like, that would never be me. I don't see the point of it. But then, like, lately in the past year, like, really becoming and I don't say obsessed in like a sex addict way. I'm not saying that, I know judgment, but that's not what I'm saying. But just really being able to like get pleasure like on my own, like, you know what I mean. And that's something, honestly, I feel like if it wasn't for sobriety, if it wasn't for the thing I went through the first year of the pandemic, I wouldn't have like been able to like really delve deep into like self pleasure and every single aspect. So yeah, with self pleasure, even if you're talking about sexual sex self pleasure, or you're talking about like rituals, like things that make you happy and give you pleasure, of course it's gonna come with like weight gain. Let's be real. Also, like, it's gonna come with weight gain. And also, I'm gonna bring astrology into it. Yes, I am. I have Taurus in my moon. My moon is in Taurus in my 10th house. So I like all comfort things. I like all like things that are luxurious. Oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Luxurious? Why can't I say it?
Luxurious.
Luxurious. Thank you. I like all things comfortable, that feel comfortable but look grand. So yeah, for me, when I look back and like, when people, I'm the type of person, I don't know if this is you, if you can relate to this. I'm the type of person where like, I don't know if I should admit that. I don't know who's listening to this. I don't know if I should admit this, but like, if I'm like, oh, I'm broke, right? And I want some food to eat or whatever. And like, let's say I'm like, oh, I'm broke and I need like money for food to get something like out to eat or whatever. And like a friend is like, my friends know, let's say if my friends or like a cousin or someone close to me, they know that when I say I'm broke and I need money for food, I need like $100 to get like a seafood boil for food. like that is my, like, I'm not talking about no $20 here, $40 here. I need like, even for me, when I think like my broke is my broke is everyone's type of broke, but in my head, like, it just doesn't relate to like what people do when they're broke and when I'm broke. Like, so for me, again, weight gain from last year did happen a lot, and I'm not gonna say I've lost it. I will say that, especially because I'm just like in this period of like self-acceptance and self-love, for me it's like, all right, Katie, you're still a bad bitch if you're 140, you're still a bad bitch if you're 210, even though I haven't really been 210 since the pandemic. And it's like, why am I telling you about weight? Okay, I'm gonna definitely edit this out.
Out there now. No, it's out there now. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, I'll wrap that up to say that the last year have really just been about like self, like really just digging into myself and really like embracing the things that other people see in me and really recognizing them for myself and being like, girl, so yeah, weight gain has been the thing that I have experienced, and I do kind of want to lose it, but it's really hard. Again, when you're looking in the mirror, you're like, bitch, you're bad. It don't matter. But then it matters with the clothes. It matters with the clothes.
Exactly, right. Because that part, I feel you on that completely. Like, I feel like for me, I also the weight gain, but then like, So that was October-ish, but then like August of 2021, I'll never forget it. I felt so good. It's actually my screensaver on my phone because that was like the best that I felt. Like I was like, whoa, like I was on vacation. I had like an open shirt, just the sports bra and linen. I felt great. And then I'm like, how did I get back here? What happened? Like I worked so hard to do this, but then like what you're saying, I'm like, listen,
Yeah,
I
where did you
yes,
get back to? I'm confused. Like you gained
yeah,
more, you gained weight
yeah,
after.
I gained the weight back, yeah, pretty much. And I was like, man, that's crazy. But at the same time, I always keep playing this tape in my head. This like, love yourself where you're at. It doesn't mean that you'll settle and stay there forever, but
Yeah.
like, but you have to. But like, I'm not going to have self hate and like disgust as I'm on the journey of trying to get back to where I do feel my best self. Cause like, I still love myself. I was like you. I still think I'm dope. I think all these things, but at the same time, I know that how I felt inside though when I was at a weight that I felt comfortable with. Like I was like,
Hmm.
wow, like I'm feeling good. Like I just had to go buy more clothes for work, and I'm like, I didn't even want to buy these clothes because I don't even want to try these
Girl.
clothes on. I don't feel like going through this. But it's
Yeah.
like if you're gonna buy clothes at this weight, then just buy clothes that you are gonna feel good in at least, and then just say it's temporary. Like it's not like, oh, because I'm buying this size, I'm gonna have to keep these clothes and stay this size. It's like just lose the weight and give the clothes to somebody else. Like, you know what I mean? But like, I went to the mall and I'm like, nah, I can't. I'm not. No, I don't want to do this today. I'm not feeling good. As if next week I was going to be like 20 pounds lighter.
Oh
I
my
need
no.
the clothes now. So
Yo, that's so important because I feel like we all do that. I do that. I do that too. We're like, oh, I'm just gonna buy cheap clothes, and it's like, for what? And then you can always get alterations if you truly love someone. I mean, love someone. Sorry, love something.
that's
Love
true though.
someone.
That's true though too. You can get alterations if you truly love someone.
Yeah, you if you truly love something, you can always like alter it. But it's just like the thought process that we have to wait to enjoy good things and nice things until like we lose weight. Like, I'm sorry, like F that. I'm so over that. And also, this is gonna be shade, so let me not even go there. But I'm over it, and I feel like a lot of times this is going separate too, just because we're in a pandemic. We spend a lot of time online. We see a lot of pictures, and it's like sometimes I used to find myself feeling bad looking at other people's pictures,
Yeah,
like,
me too.
but not understanding that this is social media and everything you see is not everything, but a lot of things that you see are not freaking real at all. Like, you know what I mean? At all. And I just had to like accept that, like, people, it's natural. People gain weight, people lose weight. And I also had to like accept and really assess, why do I want to be my high school weight? Like, why do I want to look like a 16-year-old? Like, what is it? Like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should be okay. I should accept the fact the older I get, my body is going to change. I'm going to like grow, you know what I mean? It makes sense that I'm going to be somewhat heavier, and I shouldn't, like, even now when I do want to lose some weight, maybe like 20 pounds, but I shouldn't be like, I want to lose 50 pounds. Me losing 50 pounds would put me in high school. Like, why do I want to? And don't get me wrong, let's be real, high school Katie was a real bad bee, college Katie was a real bad bee, law school Katie was a baddie to like the ninth degree. But like, why do I want to look back? Like, why would I want to go back to high school instead of like saying, okay, maybe just losing like 10, 20, 25 pounds? So
Yeah, and I think for me one of the big things was, and this actually is still good though now, this is what makes me feel better, is that my relationship with food is what I really had to examine. So same thing with like sobriety and stuff like that. It's like, what is the reason why? And then like, what am I using this as a coping mechanism, or do I just want to eat this food because it's a good food? So like for me, what I do now is like, if I eat something that's air quotes bad or say like unhealthy, I'll say like,
yeah.
okay, am I eating this because I don't feel good today and it's going to soothe me, or because no, like I really just want that and I'm happy and I feel good? Then I'm okay with it. But at that time, when during the pandemic, it started to truly be between my grief and then just going through everything with that whole
Yeah.
pandemic, it was just completely self-soothing. It was an addiction. It was just like
Yeah.
it was bad in that way. Like, oh, I'm gonna eat all this food. Like I would even be thinking about tasting it. Like this is gonna feel so good. I'm gonna buy myself some happy. I'm gonna eat all of this stuff. Now it's like, okay, if I'm gonna get whatever it is, some pizza or whatever, because I just want to eat it today and it's cool, then I feel fine with that. So that's where it's like, even if I have gained weight, because I don't really work out or do anything like that, then that's fine. But if it's I'm just on these emotional eating binges and now I'm at this heavier weight, I won't feel good about that. I'm not going to look in the mirror and say I still feel good about that. I'm going to say you need to get a therapy appointment and like start talking about this. Like what is going on with you? Like
Yeah.
you're tripping. So that was a big thing for me, was to try to figure
Yeah.
out why I'm doing this and then allow myself grace, otherwise.
And I think sometimes it's okay to self-soothe with food. I think like sometimes you have to be realistic. Like I self-soothe with food now, but I understand what you're saying, not going on binges. But
Yeah.
sometimes like I will consciously make a decision and be like, okay, today sucks. Um, there's nothing else I can do that's not gonna make it suck besides get a good meal.
Yeah, no,
like,
facts. That's facts.
like
Totally
there's
agree.
nothing I can do but go get a good meal, go get that seafood boil, go get that lobster.
You got that in my head. I'm like, maybe I'll get that when I get done this recording. I'm not
seafood,
sure.
seafood boils are like the best thing in the world. They're just so expensive where I'm from. I don't know why. People be talking about like seafood boils for like $40, $50. I'm like, what? In my area, they're like $100.
Oh no, it's just definitely like 40. It's like definitely like 40. Like 59. You can do like a family where like two people can probably eat from it for like 60, $70. Yeah.
You see, I mean, maybe because I'm getting the pans, I'm gonna look into that.
This one is in like a bag. So it's like corn, potatoes,
I'm
crab,
not getting mine in like the
lamb, shrimp.
pan.
Yeah, and the sauce. But it's still, I think it could be like 100. Depends if it's for like two people. But the where I'll get it from is about like that's it, like 50, 60, 40. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to seafood boils.
No,
All right. So, so now that we're like 2 years into the pandemic, I guess like what are some things you want to work on moving forward? Spring officially started when April 21st, I believe. No, March 21st. Yeah, March 21st. So we're kind of like the couple of beginning weeks of spring. So what are some of the things that I guess you want to focus on, work on? I don't know. It's so sad because I want this pandemic and quarantine to be over. I want people to continue standing 6 feet away from me and wearing masks. But I'm just so tired of like hearing the numbers go up, then go down, then go up, then go down. I'm tired of like, I want to go to gatherings. I want to meet people in like real life. I want to like go to parties and stuff like that. So I guess I say that to say that I don't want to pose a question like, what do you hope to get out of the pandemic or when the quarantine is over? Because we don't know when it's going to be over. So I think that we can like take it step by step and just say, what are you like your goals? What are you hoping to like learn over the next couple of weeks? Summertime starts June 21st. So, and it can be like personal goals, financial goals, physical, whatever goals, that's important to you right now at the moment.
Yeah, so right now for me, again, I just talked about it, getting my weight together. That's important for me. But just more so honestly with that, not even so much a number, but just working out, because I'm an athlete by nature and I haven't been like feeling motivated to work out. And one of my best friends, she's been killing it with her weight loss, her working out. And I'm like, man, I just want to work out like when I see it and I feel inspired, but I just be like, nah, you know what, not today. So I for myself want to start working out. I want to maybe play some basketball, like just things like that I enjoy doing that I haven't done. So if I can just kind of start maybe at least 3 times a week, like doing some sort of exercise, like sweat, like I like to like work out, it makes me feel good mentally. So I want to do that. So not even about weight loss per se, but just that part of it. And then personal, I'm real focused on like my credit right now and just like my finances in that way. So like I want to get a new credit card soon, but I'm trying to like pay like a few more things off and then like open that up. So like I kind of like every day, don't judge me, but like I wake up in the morning, I have to look at something credit or like finance related, just so I can feel like, all right, cool, I deposited into myself. I'm looking at credit cards because I didn't know how many different credit cards there were out there, what's beneficial to me, what's better for my lifestyle. I'm big on the cash back rewards. I don't really travel much, so like miles isn't going to matter. So anyway, just long story short, trying to get like a better credit card so I could feel like, okay, in like emergency situations, things like that, like it's not going to be like, oh man, I got to dig into this money or that money. I could just kind of like, take care of it that way. So that's going to make me breathe a little bit better when I have like, basically I'm saying new card with like a higher, like a limit.
Yeah, I get
like,
it.
You know what I mean? So Other than that, nah, just keep being me. Keep rolling. Keep seeing where our podcast is going to be doing and growing, and that's just really what I got going on right now.
Coolio. For me, my goals are one to get a really good, a really nice, amazing, great, super calcious fidosis. What is this?
I want to
Yo,
know
what
what
people
I want to know what's coming after all of this. What's coming after that?
no, but do you know that saying? Where is it from? Willy Walkers?
It's a lot of words that I don't know how to say.
Supercalifragilistic. Oh, just dosis. Wait, is that from the Willy Walkers? Is that from Willy Walkers? Where's that from?
I don't know what it's from. I was gonna say like Missy Elliott, but
Are you okay? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. All right, Siri's like, shut up. What are you talking about? Wait, no, I need to know where that's from. I'm sorry, I have to keep waiting a little bit. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I don't think that's the words.
Why Siri said just a spoonful of sugar will help that go down?
I don't know what that's not the words.
Wait, no, super califragilisticexpialidocious. Guys, let me Google this real quick. Doses. No, no one knows what I'm talking about. Right, if you know what I'm talking about,
that's not the words. I don't know exactly what they are, but I know that's not.
If you know what I'm talking about, please send a DM and tell me what the word I'm looking for is, or leave a review and put the word in there. Do something because I need to know that word is. I need to know how it. I need to know how to pronounce it and where it came from. Super fragile. Anyways, I need an amazing top 10. Well, top 2 and not 2 bed.
That's a good goal.
I need that. Like I'm done. I need a bed that makes every other bed in the world look like trash. Feel like trash.
You want a sleep number?
Ooh, maybe I should look something like it.
They have
so one
the like the remote, it like tells you like all your sleeping stuff, cooling, like it's crazy. One of my friends has it. It's like 10 grand though.
Ooh, okay. Well, don't be putting my finances out there. But what I was gonna say, because generally I'm very impulsive and I like just buy things that like feel good in the moment. Like I don't do my research on anything. Like, oh, I want a car, go to the car dealership.
I'm the opposite, complete opposite.
I will
read reviews until my eyes burn.
Girl, my friends, that's my friends who are still my friends now. Every friendship I've had, my impulsivity, even though it has nothing to do with them, mind your business, has always been a contention of our friendship. Like they just don't understand why I don't think anything through, but I'm trying to be different. So that's a goal, to like think things through and just review things and not be so impulsive with my buys. So I'm going to spend this next month really finding the best bed I can afford. Because that 10 grand, like, can I really afford that right now? No. like hello. But sleep number, that sounds really good. So when I get a bed, I do want to get, I do want to lose like 5 to 10 pounds over the next couple of months before the summertime happens. Lose like 5 to 10 pounds. I do need to get a new like work wardrobe because you just had me thinking, and the truth is I've been wearing like the same clothes I've been wearing like when I was like 20 pounds lighter, and it makes me feel self-conscious because a lot of my clothes are tight, but in my head I'm like, I don't want to spend a lot of money on good clothes when I plan on losing the weight, but then like I still deserve good clothes in this weight. I deserve, you know what I mean? I still deserve, because I feel like a lot of times, sometimes I didn't realize until you said it, like I conceptualize like, oh, I'll get a better bed when I'm here, but it's like, hello, I deserve to sleep like an angel now. I am an angel that deserves to sleep like an angel today. I don't need to wait until, especially, and a lot of my friends say this too, and I'm starting to think it's true. Like I'm always looking to like be better and do better and like find this next enlightened thing. And I have to just really accept that I am enlightened as it is now. We all are, you know what I mean? And it's through experiences that it's through our experiences that we become more enlightened and we become better. But I don't need to search those experiences. I could just let them happen and I could just exist as I'm existing now. Like, so this conversation was actually really helpful. I do need to like really improve my wardrobe, the wardrobe I deserve, especially going into court and people like, are you a lawyer? Like, what the hell? No, I'm just here to spectate. Yeah, I'm a lawyer. Like, get on my face. Like, ask me stupid ass questions. And not only the people, not the workers, like other lawyers and judges, but it'd be like the parties, like defendants and like the plaintiffs. I'm just like, what about me does not look like a lawyer? And even though I feel like, and it'll come from people from our community, but even though I feel like it may have to do with me being young and or looking young, or I am young, let's be clear, and also looking young, but also I do feel like it's because I don't know, maybe sometimes I get self-conscious. I know I'm venting a little bit, but like my clothes are just not what they should be, and I don't know, but I just feel like I deserve new clothes now. Like I'm not like I deserve new work clothes. Like I deserve new work clothes. I deserve to be at work feeling comfortable in what I'm wearing, not feeling like people are judging me, even though I don't know why people are judging. I don't know if people are judging me. I don't know what they're judging me based off of. But one of the comments that I always hate is when people be like, "Oh my God, you look like a lawyer." I'm like, so what do I look like? What is it that you
Yeah,
know? What is
that's
it? So
good. That's good.
yeah, a new bed, some new clothes, that's for sure. And because I deserve them, I deserve both of them. Also, I want to lose like 5 to 10 pounds. I do want to start reading more. I want to start reading more Black feminist literature. It's something that I'm really getting into, which I'm not gonna go on a spiral, but I just feel for a long time, especially a lot of Black women struggle with deciding or trying to figure out if they're more Black or more woman. And for a long time, I've grown up always feeling like a dedication to like Blackness and being Black. But recently, I've been reading certain things that just excite me. Don't you love when you find something new that excites you and just makes you gives you hope? And I've been reading there's this page on Instagram and they put up workshops and I attended two so far. And I've been coming more to like the realization that being Black and being woman, this we're not more one than the other. It's a subset in itself. And being Black and being woman both equally like curates our experiences. But I feel like for a while we've been made to feel like we're more Black by Black men and that we're more women by white women. And I think that there's a lot to be learned that's yet to be understood. And I'm interested in like understanding that like no, we're both equally like both parts equally. So that, and lastly, I want to say before I shut up my goals, I need to get more freaking tattoos. I haven't gotten tattoos in like 2 years. Like, what is wrong with me? I love tattoos, and I have not gotten a tattoo in 2 years. So I need to again do my research, not be impulsive. As soon as tax stuff hits, go into the nearest tattoo store and be like, do this. I need to find a tattoo artist that it's really good, knows what they're doing. I need to figure out what I want. Recently, I've been like really into like sunflowers. What's your favorite flower?
Tulip.
Aww. Yeah, that's cute. Recently, sunflowers has just been a thing I'm just loving. So I need to figure out design and get more tattoos, and hopefully and of course SBGC. I need to finalize a lot more of our legal paperwork and all the other like just financial stuff that we need to like improve on. I need to be more on top of that. To like get us where we need to be, so I don't have to be a lawyer anymore. I can just do SPGC full time and just live my life like that. So yeah, I need to make that happen. But yeah, those are my goals basically.
Love it. Love the goals. Love the conversation. Guys, definitely please make sure that you DM one of us, message us, and tell us what the heck Katie was talking about. We need to know. I hope that you found something in all of this conversation that we had today that's helpful for you. Make sure you guys keep checking us out. We appreciate it. You found it? You found it?
No, I'm just gonna let me Google one more time. I'm not under pressure. Please, Jay, you can talk. Just give me a couple seconds to like.
Okay, so she wants me to talk. So I don't really like long walks on the beach. I think that the sand is really hot. So maybe if it was at night, I do enjoy ice cream. Yeah. Nope, don't got it.
No, you're right. Yo, can you please DM one of us to tell us what the word?
Please let us know. Please let us know. And we appreciate the support. You guys definitely showing a lot of love to the podcast. If you're listening to the audio, please leave us a review. If you're watching on YouTube, drop us a comment. Let us know your thoughts. And you can DM us and let us know the answer. And yeah, otherwise, we're going to see you guys next time. Peace.
Before I say bye, I want to say no, before I say bye, I do want to say that if you're listening, leave us a review. And usually I don't ask for reviews because I really don't care. But recently I've been like really falling in love with this podcast, and I've been falling in love with like, I don't know, just the podcast, the talks that we are having. And I want to actually hear your thoughts. I care about your thoughts. So yeah, leave a review. All right, J, Nicole, you're gonna have to do that whole bye peace thing again.
That's really important. That's really important though. You asking for reviews is not really something typically you do, but yeah, we're gonna definitely do that. She has spoken. Actually, leave a review. Please definitely do it. We appreciate that, guys. We're gonna catch y'all next time. All right, for a second time. Peace.
Bye.